Hello and welcome to week 2. For week 2, you'll start with your reading assignment, move on to the review section, and then finally work on the assignments which will be due at the end of the week. We're going to go through all of these in a little bit more detail. For your reading assignment for week 2, you're going to read the sections that are outlined in red: argument and critical thinking, finding topics, and all the sections of that. So you're going to want to read finding arguments, using pre-writing, analyze this, see it in practice, and time to write. You're also going to read argument and college writing as outlined on the top section. And you've got the Prezi to walk you through any of the big ideas in all of these sections. Then you're going to move on to the review section, and in the review section you're going to see that there's a link to this New York Times collection of articles basically and topics, but it's got 310 prompts for argumentative writing. And you're going to scroll down a little bit and you're going to see social media and phones and devices first, but as you keep scrolling there's going to be a whole range of articles and topics that you can think about. You're welcome to choose any topic for the semester, but I want you to think about a couple of things. These links are to New York Times articles, so those aren't scholarly research. Over the course of the semester, you're going to work on this topic all semester, so you want to think about what you're really interested in writing about for that long, but you're also going to research it over the semester, and you need to, you're welcome to use additional articles like a New York Times article, but ultimately you're going to need to find 4 scholarly articles, 4 journal articles from, reputable journals. And we're going to go through how to search for that using Google Scholar, using our databases at Oakland University. But I really want you to think about those 2 things. One, do you think you can sustain your interest in this topic for the entire semester? Because everything that we do comes back to this particular topic. Secondly, you'll want to think about, is it researchable? Do you think you'll be able to find enough research on it that's not just doing a Google search, to really dig into, like I said, peer-reviewed scholarly articles? So one thing I will do is, once you provide your topic in your topic journal, I'm going to look on Google Scholar to see if there are scholarly articles on the topic that you choose. So that will at least help you know that you're on the right track if you've chosen this, whichever topic you choose. But you'll still need to find some of those articles. So anyway, I just want you to think carefully about your choice with this. I have found over the years that students pick amazing and interesting topics and really dig into things that matter to them. So I want you to think of it that way. It's your chance to research something you've always wanted to research, but you never had time to before. All right, I also want you to get a good idea of what APA format looks like this week. So I want you to find an example of APA format somewhere online. I want to make sure that it is in 7th edition, but I would suggest highly using something like the Purdue OWL, the Purdue Online Writing Lab. But you're going to take a screenshot. So this top part is a screenshot. And then below it, I want you to describe what you're seeing in your own words. So again, when citing an article from an online journal, it's, first list the author's last name followed by the first and middle, if available, initials, and then you'll continue on with your own words, because I want you to be able to look at it, to see it for what it is. It's different than MLA format, and then I want you to be able to do that on your own as the semester goes on. There are many tools out there that will help you, but just knowing what it looks like is helpful to begin with. And also add where you retrieved the example from. Next, like I said, I'm going to give you Google Scholar links, and I'm going to be able to, this is the link to a slide deck that's going to walk you through how you might use those Google Scholar links throughout your research process, especially for the first annotated bibliography, which will be coming up rather quickly. Next, you're going to turn in that APA screenshot and the comments underneath it, just like the example I just showed you. So you'll find the online example, take a screenshot of it, paste that image into a document, and then describe it in your own words, and also add where you retrieved the image. And then finally, you're going to look over those semester-long topics. You're going to decide which one is appealing to you. And then in preparation to begin studying, studying that topic, that is, I want you to come up with 3 questions you have about your topic, your purpose for choosing the topic, and your audience for the topic. And there's an example just provided below for how that might look. But I'll be looking for those 5 pieces as you submit that topic journal. All right, and then as always, if you've got questions, please ask them whenever you have them. As I've said a couple of times, we can meet via Zoom or communicate via email, whatever works best for you. Have a wonderful week.